This is not the plot twist that we saw coming for communication theory, digital version. But even if COVID-19 has changed our scenery and our backdrop and our presence, it hasn't changed the story. So I'm thinking Walter Fisher right now, of course. And I'm hoping that this is a story that has both fidelity and coherence. Fidelity in the sense that it resonates with you and your values. I'm going to try to maintain some of the same values that we've had in our class, even when we go online. But also coherence. There'd be some consistencies. But I want to name right up front that there will be some things we simply can't replicate from our in-class, in-person presence together. For instance, most critically, no donuts, no danishes, no those guys. All that's gone. But also, we won't have the joy of interacting with people like Devante and Douglas. And we won't be able to be clapping and singing in a motivation circle, although come to think of it, Joshua Caceres won't mind that altogether too much. All that stuff, all the small group work, all the conversational interaction of this class has been whisked off stage. And we're left like performers who don't have a stage, don't have lights, don't have a mic, and maybe we're not even too sure what the script is. But we have the same story. I don't want to overstate the difficulties we're facing as we shift to COMM theory digital version. We're not like Ryan Howie stuck in an actor's nightmare. We have all these lines for plays that don't match. Our story remains fundamentally unaltered. Here are some of the things that are going to hold constant. We are still seeking good and deep learning in our discipline. That hasn't changed. We're also going to hold on to the commitment to learn communication theory by building communication theory. We're also going to engage an important question, how do we combat racism, which has to be one of the most important questions of our time, in an important sector, social entrepreneurship, which, you know my bias, I think is one of the more important sectors of our time. Whatever your future profession, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're in a nonprofit or charitable or even a church organization, or whether you're running your own startup, at some level you're going to be doing a measure of social entrepreneurship. You're going to be seeking to make the world better by taking advantage of market-based strategies. So those are some of the plot points that will stay consistent in our COMM theory story. Let me talk about a few of the specifics of how I've had to adapt this course. According to formal accreditation standards, you are required for every credit of work in a class to do 2 hours of work outside of class. I'm not going to observe that standard. You should expect to do 6 hours of work for communication theory every week. That's 3 hours for in class and 3 hours for out of class. For some of you, that might feel pretty ordinary. You might have already been spending about 6 hours a week on communication theory. For others of you, that will be a little bit more than you are looking for. If, however, you find that it's a lot more than 6 hours, I really want to know about that. Make sure you're communicating with me if it gets to be just way too much. I do have a commitment, however, not to create busy work for your semester here for the remaining 6 weeks of the semester. I'm looking for unconventional but thought-provoking work to engage you in communication theory. Again, if you find that it turns into a lot of busy work, I'd really like to know about that too. You will find on Moodle how I am adapting this course. You'll find a schedule and you'll find a list of the assignments that I'll be asking you to do. I will be loading the module for each week on Monday morning or on Sunday evening before, and I expect you to complete the work for that module by Friday at 5 p.m. So, in closing, for this prefatory COMM theory digital version video, I am thinking of a word from Psalm 56. When I am afraid, I will trust in you. Keep that word close.